I'm Nikki Glazer, and just like Wicked, I'm back for a sequel.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the celebrities whose hosting chops impressed everyone, and those whose performances left a lot to be desired.
You're kidding me, right? Slow down. I wrote some of these, and they're the ones you're laughing at. Look.
Number 5 fell flat. Michael Che and Colin Jost, 70th Primetime Emmy Awards. The Weekend Update anchors proved that chemistry behind a news desk doesn't automatically translate to award show success. Their opening monologue landed with a thud, as jokes about network TV's declining relevance and #MeToo felt misplaced and insensitive.
That's right, and if you're a network executive, that's the scariest thing you can possibly hear. Except maybe Sir Ronan Farrow is on line 1.
Yeah, you don't want that call.
No, you don't want that.
The duo's typical deadpan delivery, which always strikes gold in SNL's structured format, felt detached and cold in the more celebratory awards environment. Their wooden teleprompter reading and seeming discomfort on stage created a disconnection with both the audience and viewers at home.
You know, I heard Roseanne is actually moving to Israel.
Wow.
I mean, damn. How messed up is your life when you have to go to the Middle East just to get peace of mind?
Perhaps their hosting had a role to play in the 11% ratings drop the ceremony saw from the previous year. It just showed how crucial genuine enthusiasm for the event itself is, something neither host seemed able to muster.
The Obamas now even have their own production deal at Netflix. And my dream is that the only thing they produce is their own version of The Apprentice.
Number 5 excelled. Ricky Gervais, 67th Golden Globe Awards. When the British comedian took the Golden Globe stage for the first time, Hollywood's collective pearls were clutched.
On a serious note, just looking at all the faces here reminds me of some of the great work that's been done this year by cosmetic surgeons.
Gervais transformed the typically chummy awards atmosphere with ruthless takedowns of celebrity culture. No one was safe from his acerbic tongue. Not Steve Carell, not Angelina Jolie, not even Kiefer Sutherland.
Some of those scenes, by the way, where Kiefer grabs someone and beats them to a pulp, they weren't even in the script. The director just said, keep rolling, we'll work it into the...
This was the first time the Golden Globes had an official host, so Gervais's opening monologue turned roast took everyone completely by surprise. But it was belly-achingly funny. Ratings spiked 14% from the previous year, proving audiences were hungry for his brand of uncomfortable truth-telling, even if the celebrities squirming in their seats weren't.
One thing that can't be bought is a Golden Globe. Officially. I'm not going to do this again anyway.
Unsurprisingly, he was brought back to host multiple times. Number 4 fell flat. Chelsea Handler, 27th MTV Video Music Awards. The phrase "the host with the most" would accurately describe comedian Chelsea Handler at the 2010 VMAs, just in the worst way possible. Handler tried to do everything all at once in her opening monologue, but hardly any of it landed.
I was excited to do this award show because every year something so exciting happens at the VMAs, but what I'm scared most is that this year, everybody, all of you idiots, will suddenly get your acts together.
Instead, she came off as rambling and incoherent, which was surprising for someone who stated that she stayed off alcohol to prepare for the gig. Her attempts to incorporate the night's biggest story, Kanye West and Taylor Swift's ongoing feud, lacked the nuance needed for such a sensitive topic.
Here I am, I'm just an innocent 19-year-old girl minding my own business, trying to get a VMA. Somebody's interrupting me. No! My award, my choice!
The general reception from critics was that she seemed lost and almost painful to watch. But audiences didn't seem to mind, as the show got their highest ratings in almost a decade.
There's a lesson here. If you leave New Jersey, you may host the VMAs. If you stay in Jersey, you may host the herpes.
Number 4 excelled. Hugh Jackman, 81st Academy Awards. Broadway energy met Hollywood glamour when the Australian triple threat took the Oscars stage in 2009. Jackman's sensational opening number addressed the economic recession with a DIY-themed song and dance extravaganza featuring homemade props and sets. His musical tribute to the year's films included a show-stopping duet with Anne Hathaway that showcased his effortless charm. Unlike many hosts who rely solely on monologues, Jackman utilized his full skill set. Dancing with Beyoncé, Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, and Amanda Seyfried, and even pulling audience members on stage. His warm, self-deprecating style and genuine enthusiasm for cinema created a celebratory atmosphere that respected the ceremony's tradition while infusing it with fresh energy.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy yourself I thought you were great.
I absolutely loved doing it. I have to say, I loved it, but
It was no surprise that ratings jumped 13% from the previous year. Number 3 fell flat, Joe Coy, 81st Golden Globe Awards. Joe Coy's hosting debut at the Golden Globes became a masterclass in how not to handle a tough room.
Oppenheimer is based on a 721-page Pulitzer Prize-winning book about the Manhattan Project. And Barbie is on a plastic doll with big boobies.
His monologue derailed almost as soon as it began when his jokes about Barbie and Taylor Swift landed with a thud. The awkward silence following each punchline visibly rattled Coy, leading to his now infamous admission that he barely had any time to prepare.
Some I wrote, some other people wrote. Robert De Niro's here. Yo, I got the gig 10 days ago. You want a perfect monologue? Yo, shut up.
Never had an audience turn so quickly on its host. Critics panned Coy's performance as unfunny and defensive. The aftermath saw Hollywood rallying around Coy, with stars like Steve Martin and Whoopi Goldberg acknowledging the difficulty of the gig. While some appreciated his authenticity when bombing, the incident resulted in a night that felt uncomfortable and disjointed.
Her portrayal of the Queen was so good, Prince Harry called her for it and asked her for money. Like I said, I didn't write all these. That one's not mine.
Number 3 excelled, Nikki Glaser, 83rd Golden Globe Awards. Following Joe Coy's widely criticized hosting stint, the Golden Globes managed to cleanse everyone's palate in 2025 when comedian Nikki Glaser took over the reins.
It could be a woman, you know. I think 100% of the time it's a man, but it could be a woman. It won't be. It never is. Kind of like Best Director. All right.
Her debut was stellar, and she got even better and more comfortable in the host's shoes when she returned for the 83rd ceremony in 2026. Glaser managed a clever balance of edgy humor and sincere engagement, successfully navigating through jokes that could have easily alienated viewers, but didn't.
Kevin, you're so funny. And you and The Rock together are like my favorite comedy duo. Such a classic comedy duo. You're like a Steve Martin and Martin Short, but for like people under 50 IQ. You know what I mean? Like, we need movies too.
Her ability to riff off the unexpected and keep the show flowing was praised by critics, who appreciated how she found humor in Hollywood's self-importance without resorting to mean-spirited jabs. It's not easy to top your own hosting performance, but Glaser did so without breaking a sweat.
Too much Botox. And lastly, Steve Martin and Martin Short, keep proving to us that in this industry, you are never, ever too old to still need money. I love you guys.
Number 2 fell flat, Seth MacFarlane, 85th Academy Awards. When Seth MacFarlane took the Oscars stage in 2013, he arrived with sitcom-style confidence, but delivered an opening musical number that drew widespread criticism for its tone.
Have you thought about what the critics are going to write?
Oh, yeah. No matter what I do, I'm going in at -10. I have to kind of claw and scratch a little bit for even a decent review.
The song listed films where actresses had appeared bare-chested, a gag intended as playful meta-commentary, but interpreted by many as crass and sexist. The rest of the night didn't go much better, as MacFarlane's jokes about domestic violence, eating disorder, and Jewish people in Hollywood were met with uncomfortable glances, and in some cases audible gasps. Although the ratings rose slightly from the previous year, the reception from both critics and audiences was mixed at best.
How does it feel to have hosted the Oscars and done a great job?
We'll let the always generous critics determine that.
It was MacFarlane's first and last time hosting. Number 2 excelled, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, 70th Golden Globe Awards.
That's what makes tonight so special. Only at the Golden Globes do the beautiful people of film rub shoulders with the rat-faced people of television.
The dynamic comedy duo revolutionized award show hosting with their pitch-perfect blend of insider jokes and genuine warmth. Their opening monologue masterfully walked the line between pointed commentary and good-natured ribbing. Polar's quip about director Catherine Bigelow's controversial film Zero Dark 30 demonstrated their ability to be cutting without crossing into cruelty.
Haven't really been following the controversy over Zero Dark 30, but when it comes to torture, I trust the lady who spent 3 years married to James Cameron.
Their natural chemistry, honed through years of SNL and joint projects, created a conversational flow that made viewers feel like they were watching two brilliantly funny friends.
The Hunger Games was one of the biggest films of the year, and also what I call the 6 weeks it took me to get into this dress.
Ang Lee's been nominated for Best Director for The Life of Pi, which is what I'm going to call the 6 weeks after I take this dress off.
The successful hosting gig made for a perfectly paced, consistently hilarious show that critics universally adored, and audiences clamored for more of. Fortunately, they got just that, as Faye and Polar were brought back in 2014 and 2015.
Tyler Perry was so good in Gone Girl that he has actually been asked to write and direct a sequel called Girl, I Thought You Were Gone.
Number 1. Fell Flat. James Franco and Anne Hathaway, 83rd Academy Awards. The Academy's attempt to attract younger viewers backfired spectacularly with the mismatched duo of James Franco and Anne Hathaway.
When I got asked to do it, I said, no, thank you, I don't think this is really for me. And then they called back a couple weeks later and said, well, James Franco's in, and I said, ooh, that is going to be interesting.
Franco's detached, almost sedated demeanor created painful dissonance against Hathaway's eager-to-please enthusiasm. For the majority of the telecast, Franco seemed to have checked out, while Hathaway frantically compensated by amping up her energy to uncomfortable levels. Duos like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler work because their chemistry has been tried and tested over the years, but these two had nothing in common, and unfortunately it showed.
I mean, one of the reasons I was excited about Anne hosting is thought maybe I had a shot, and then I realized there was a boyfriend around, so those dreams have been shot.
There were even rumors that Franco was deliberately sabotaging the telecast because the two disliked each other. Even years later, Hathaway acknowledges that it was a terrible showing.
Here you are hosting the Oscars in 2011 with James Franco. We
sucked.
We sucked!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Excelled, Chris Rock, 88th Academy Awards. Sharp and brutally honest, Chris Rock tackled Hollywood's diversity issues head-on.
The comedian kept things mostly lighthearted but ended on a serious note, offering his perspective on the Oscars So White controversy.
Fell Flat, Kelsey Grammer, 40th Annual Grammy Awards. Grammer's apparent discomfort with the musical acts made for a strangely bland evening.
Even Luciano Pavarotti will be getting jiggy with it. In short, it promises to be a lifelong memory for everyone here tonight, with the exception of whatever poor soul is sitting behind Erykah Badu.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Excelled, Neil Patrick Harris, 67th Tony Awards. Harris's fourth time hosting Broadway's biggest night was nothing short of spectacular. Opening with the jaw-dropping number Bigger, Harris performed alongside dozens of Broadway performers in a meticulously choreographed celebration that had the Radio City Music Hall audience on their feet.
We're going bigger, the right is bigger. We've got cheerleaders, contortionists, and soul.
Throughout the evening, his natural theatrical timing and genuine passion for theater shone through as he delivered inside jokes that landed perfectly with the industry crowd.
Guys! Doing TV has its pros and cons, right? But just like the theater, sometimes you have a hit and sometimes you don't. We can't all have long-running hit TV shows like my own.
He then closed the show with a rap recap, composed in real time by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Tommy Kail, where he flawlessly summarized the entire ceremony in verse with help from Broadway legend Audra McDonald.
Then at 9 o'clock you change to watch the games. The nerds Game of Thrones, the jocks LeBron James. Now you're watching Audra singing to her own flow. Audra's got so many Tonys she could host her own show.
Critics universally praised his performance, with many calling it a masterclass in award show hosting. Which of these celebrities would you like to see return to the podium, and which do you think should stay far away from it? Let us know in the comments.